That was my impression of the intro music. I hope everybody liked it. What's going on, everyone? It is Wednesday at 9 p.m. And I am happy to say that we are here for maybe the most anticipated mission accomplished in the history of the world. Anyways, before we bring in my partner in crime, Mr. Mike Hunnell, to talk to Robert Washington, I'm going to shout our sponsors out. We just got back from BKFC 17, Boutwell Auditorium in Birmingham, Alabama, for another fucking killer show by BKFC. Once again, they come through with another banger, full of knockouts, full of fucking fire, and we got a lot to talk about. But before we do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shout out some sponsors real quick. I'm going to throw them up on screen. We got to thank Beard Octane, the boys over at Beard Octane, beardoctane.com. Go over there, check them out. They hooked us up with some sponsor money, and they got beard elixirs, they got beard oils, beard bombs, beard, all that stuff that you put in your beautiful face manes. So go over there, check out their products. They have great stuff. They also have clothing and hats, and they got beef jerky and all kinds of shit. Go over to check out Britain Hart. Hashtag Team Heart. Britain is a supporter of the show. We are a supporter of Britain, and they were nice enough to hook us up too. Of course, we got Killfoot Clothing, killfootclothing.com. They've been supporting us since day one. Veteran owned, American made apparel. They are the makers of the Mission Accomplished t-shirts. We got J. William Photography, my boy Joe Rogers, the most dedicated soldier I think I've ever met in my entire life. He dedicates his life to his craft, whether he's doing it as a soldier or as a photographer. Hook yourself up, book that man for a wedding or whatever you got going on. And Hendry Athletic Myotherapy, they've been in business for 25 years in Waterford, Connecticut, taking care of all kinds of myofascia problems that people got. They were all nice enough to hook me up with some sponsorship to get us down to Birmingham. And if we were not in Birmingham, my boy Mike and I, who I'm bringing on the screen right now, what up, dog?
Yo, what's up?
We would not have been there to see the Boutwell Melee. If it wasn't for those motherfuckers, man. How you doing, Mike? How's your Wednesday?
It's pretty good.
You know what day it is?
Off.
Do you know what day it is?
Thursday?
It's Cinco de Mayo, my friend.
Oh, Friday.
What? It's Wednesday. It is. It's the fucking dude.
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday at 9 p.m. And we are about to talk to Robert Red Washington, who was victorious against Ryan Jones, the Juggernaut Jones.
He was. Yeah. I was there. I think I saw that
earlier in the evening. But the story of the night with Mr. Washington really didn't take place till later on in the evening, after everything was put down. The dude doesn't deserve the shine. Brandon Lambert's already in the comments.
As we knew he would be.
Andrew Toppin says, fight me.
Hello, Toppin.
You guys, hello, Mr. Toppin. Had a nice time with
Lambert,
you, sir. Hello. Mr. Toppin was celebrating his 23rd birthday down in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, share some love in the comments for Andrew Toppin. And go and watch the interview we did with him and Ryan Jones, by the way, just before the fights on Friday afternoon.
Now, hey, I'm going to go ahead and tell all you crazy sons of bitches in the comments. Now, we're going to let the man tell his side of the story, all right? We all saw it. A lot of people got a lot of different things to say. So before you go bombarding my comments with crazy fire, let him talk. We do have to address his performance in the ring, and we're going to talk a little bit about his background and stuff. So we're not going to go ahead and just go crazy on the man. Every story's got two sides, and we want to hear them both. But Mike, what do you got to say about our trip down to Birmingham, dude?
So it was pretty friggin' awesome. I mean, we left on a Wednesday afternoon and we flew into Baltimore. We basically had to run to a plane, and then we flew down to Atlanta. What happens in Atlanta?
That's where all the players play, I believe.
That's right. The players play down there. I knew that.
That's where the players play.
That's right.
They also ride on them things like every day, I think.
Every day, like even on the weekends, they don't take weekends off.
Dude, I heard every day. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I'll have to look into it. Somebody Google that. Let us know. But yeah, it was awesome. And then we took a 2-hour and 10-minute drive over to Birmingham, but not before running into somebody who we just mentioned, Mr. Toppin. Yep. And you know where we met him? In the friggin' Hertz line. Because you know what happens when you're in the Hertz line? Your friggin' legs hurts. Because you stand there
because
for
you stand there
an hour and a half.
Yeah, you stand there for 2 hours in the line, just hurting in your legs. Nah, man, but this trip was great. We got down there, we hung out with Mr. Kevin Smith and a very awesome legend in himself, Chris Lytle. Amy says 2 hours. 2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours, you goddamn creepers. Look at Susan. Susan
creepers.
Said, creepers. Susan, you spelt that wrong, by the way. It's creepers.
But listen to the way I talk. It's a creeper.
It's a creeper. It's not a creeper. What is that? What is that? What do you go drinking at the bar?
Yeah, what is
beers?
Beer.
You drink beer.
You guys have some weird accents. I gotta tell you that.
You freak of leaks. All right. Yeah, dude, we met. We got to meet Chris Lytle. We interviewed a bunch of these fighters down there. We hung out with the Rhino himself and Doug Marshall, Crystal Pittman. Had a good time with Mike Richmond, who had an amazing knockout in the first round of the co-main event against Marcel Stamps. You got to give that guy his props there.
And you know, I'm gonna slap myself in the face with this one, and maybe I can get it on here in a minute. We'll show it. The stare down at the weigh-ins didn't even move, didn't even flinch, didn't even budge.
That was pretty incredible.
Yeah,
I haven't seen someone that stone cold since Kobe Bryant back in the day, when the dude tried to fake throw the ball in his face on the inbound, and Kobe smiled at him like, dude, are you kidding me? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
What are you, nuts?
Incredible. And when that happened, I leaned over to Mike and I said, I'm pretty sure Richmond just won the fight tomorrow night, right now at the weigh-ins. It's over.
That's a mental game right there. I mean, you're coming at somebody full-fledged without warning, and he didn't even move a CH.
Oh, man.
Not even a tiny bit.
We
39, 40 comments. What's going on over here? Dickman
Dickelheimer. We've had him in the comments before. He tried to Dickman. I appreciate your support of the show, Mr. Dickelheimer, but
we love a good Dickman.
Yeah. That one time, man, he tried to call me out on some shit that I said about Sorrow, about being I don't know what the fuck he said, but I went back and watched my episode, and what Mr. Dickelheimer said in the comments was not true at all, sir. You should go back and watch it. You taught him
some respect. You said that you told Burns that he taught Sorrow some respect.
That's what he said. He said, after you so arrogantly said Burns taught him some respect. Those words never came out of my mouth, sir. Not one time. You can go back and watch it. All right.
That's a pretty arrogant statement, Kyle.
It is a pretty arrogant statement, but I can arrogantly tell you that I'm 100% confident that I never fucking said that. Anyways, hey, look at what this thing is. You know what this is? This is a margarita.
Lemonade?
This is a jalapeno pineapple margarita that Amy made and hated, so she gave it to me. You said he hoped Burns taught him a lesson. Well, whatever, man. I didn't say taught him some respect.
A lesson, whatever it was. Either or. Well, it doesn't matter, because it kept you honest, and you came up and said it anyways. And
either or. Listen, you fucking say some things. You get on the microphone, you start spouting off shit, and you never know what the fuck you're gonna get.
Yeah, I heard.
Take off your bra while you drink that. Take off my bra.
Calm down.
You trying to say I have titties?
It's the beginning of the show. We're already getting naked. Just hold on a second. Can't you just wait? Have some patience. Andrew
We're-
Toppin says, "How about the venue running out of beer?" And I heard about this, and I wasn't drinking beer, but I did hear that they ran out of beer. I heard it was a scheme for them to sell more Tito's because they were loaded up on Tito's and want to get them bottles out of there. That's what I heard through the grapevine.
Yeah. They were trying to sell them TNTs, Tito's, and Tiger Life.
What am I drinking? My everybody, that's my mother-in-law. You can harass her now because you know who it is. This right here is a TNT, Tito's and Tiger Life. They do not sponsor this show, so don't even get any weird ideas and go tell them that we're saying they're sponsoring us because they don't.
Hey, how about this?
Period.
How about this? Ian Olsen says, margarita, bitches. Hey, how about this? Since it's Cinco de Mayo, if everybody is at home having cocktails as well, we play a little drinking game called Everybody Drinks When Brandon Lambert Comments.
I'll be falling backwards or sideways, wherever.
It's the Malo shit show. Everybody drinks and everybody takes an article of clothing off when Susan Bare Knuckle Management comments. Everyone would be naked in 5 minutes.
Dickman Dickelheimer. Yes, we are also fans of sorrow, and hey, when you get to talking to somebody and you get in it, maybe something happened in the past that I won't bring up or whatever, but I'm sure that these guys, got into it talking, and thanks for liking the show. But we like Sorrow too. We are friendly with him. We've talked to him many times. He was the first person or second person to do a live interview with us in Orlando. We've had him on the show. He's an awesome guy. We like him.
Hey, Susan just commented.
Yep.
Lambert just commented. What are you doing? I'm just joking. I'm not fucking taking my clothes off, you psychos. I'm not doing it. Anyways, I'm going to shoot a message to Mr. Washington, see if he's on his way, because I know this is, hey, I'm all over the place. I played in a golf tournament today, Mike.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look at down in the South here. You see somebody popped up on the screen, the man of the hour.
The man of the hour. So what we should do here is bring the man. Hold on. We're going to get you on in a second, sir. And then you can show that show. All right. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to get the man who was one half of the Boutwell Melee, maybe the breakout star of the weekend. Let's do this. Let's get this side of the story. Mr. Robert Washington, here he is. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing all right, gentlemen. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. Good.
Hold on. Let me take a look at that shirt. Personally, I think bitches with green hair are cute.
Yep.
Oh, man. All right, Mr. Washington, how are you? We ran into you in the parking lot, got your side of the story. That interview was straight fire, like Dylon himself. How has your life been in the last 4 days since we last seen you, sir?
Well, I'll be very honest with you. For the last 4 days, man, it's been a roller coaster ride because I've got like almost 200 friend requests. I've had about 60 inboxes from random people that I don't know, and about 20 of those people were friends of the gentleman who decides that to have this beautiful green hair. So I've learned to just embrace all aspects of this journey.
Well, I got to tell you, man, before we get into all of that, let's just introduce you to the world. This is Robert Red Washington from Tampa, Florida. He is a veteran in the fight game. He is now 1-1 in BKFC. And he had a very nice performance against the juggernaut Ryan Jones. We have some cool pictures of this fight. Let's see this man right here with the hand up, looking like he's ready to fight, looking pretty gangster right there. We got some blood on the screen. And then go ahead and we're gonna talk about this cut for a second. So what was it that inflicted the damage on Mr. Jones's eye there? I believe it was a hook. What led to the hook? And
what led to it? Training at Shift MMA is what led to it. As far as the actual what took place, I forced him to trade The gentleman already wants to trade in all of his fights. I forced him to trade within a range he thought that he was actually able to have contact. However, I left the fight looking exactly the same. And it's because his level of contact was very minimal. I appreciate the competition, but he really only scratched me. I have missing skin on my nose from a nail mark, and I have a scratch that was right on the inside of my eye that it showed was just a nail mark. It was not even past the first subdermal layer. So what led to this? This is hard work and dedication. It was a good setup that I utilized to get to those particular strikes. And I landed 9 of the 9 strikes with the same exact hand, 9 power shots with the same punch. There was no way he was going to make it out of there standing. You know, the referee did exactly what they were supposed to do and to stop the fight, to protect the fighter for the longevity of a great career. I do, once again, appreciate my opponent, and I take nothing from him. You know, hats off to him. And I look forward to, you know, I want the green-haired little girl, but I can't seem to get her to come off the porch. So it's kind of complicated when you're accosted by someone, and the only thing you want to do is have a better day, and this person here can't help you with a better day, giving you something to punch on. So I really want his face to meet my knuckles. At some point, it doesn't really matter what day, you know. I'll beat him up for breakfast, and then I'll beat him up again at lunch if that's what it takes. I just really want this one gentleman right now. I'm investing a lot of time and effort into letting him know that we both play a game and I play for keeps. So that's what led to a good competition, me having a drive to be successful. Okay. So, and now I'm looking for more.
So after the fight, right? So what we'll do is go right after your fight was over. We were out in the crowd. We were covering the event. And we heard a lot of people coming by. They were talking, saying like shit was going on. Like you were talking shit to so-and-so, and someone said something to you. So what exactly, when you left the ring and you're walking back to the locker room, what happened between the ring and walking back to the locker room?
I walked from underneath the balcony, underneath the stairwell area, and the gentleman accosted me, stating that he walked up to me and he said, "Hey, yo, you motherfucker, we're going to fight. We're going to fight about what?" I say to him, he states, "Motherfucker, because you called my friend a pussy." I said, "I didn't call your friend a pussy at all, bro. I didn't call anybody anything. I just had a good fight, man." He said, no, and we're going to fight, and I'm going to come up to 185 pounds, and we're going to fight. And if you have a problem, we can go outside. We can do whatever you want to do right now. I looked at him and I said, "No problem, my friend. No problem. No problem. Okay, boss." And I go to walk away. This is what you get on the video. "Okay, no problem, boss." And I will go to walk away. As I go to walk away, this gentleman had already tapped me before the camera got footage of this. He'd already tapped me 3 times to get my attention. Okay, supposedly his version of a tap. Okay, as he's already drunk and inebriated. As I go to walk off, this gentleman deliberately tries to trip me and to stop me from walking by putting his leg in front of my leg. So you see on the camera, you'll see how close he ends up getting to me. His chest is on my back. Okay. And he's talking about what he's going to do. And we're not going to wait till we get outside and all that stuff there as I'm walking away from this gentleman. Okay. So I have no other choice but to defend myself, knowing that there's a whole group of people surrounding me, getting ready to attack me. I'm in fear for my life at this point. I have no reason to be in fear of an organization when you have all these security detail personnel around, and you've seen this gentleman accost me not once, not twice, but 3 times. I'm here to do one thing, and that is compete for BKFC and put on the best performance for them. You don't want to hinder my performance by having me feel that I'm in an unsafe environment based upon these individuals. Okay. However, this is what took place after seeing this gentleman accost me over 3 times. And then it finally escalates to this foolishness. Okay. Now, in the process of this gentleman decides to scream after after he gets popped for what he was doing. He screams, stops and screams and points for security like it was the Rodney King shooting or something, you know, like it was one of them. It was so pathetic for individual. It reminded me of some schoolgirl stuff, okay, school kid stuff, where you have a problem and you get popped, and all of a sudden now you're telling it's the other person, okay, when actuality it's you, okay. The problem, all issues lead up to Mr. Brandon. It's not Robert Earl Washington. It's not Robert Blas Washington. It's this individual, okay. Now, amongst me squaring off with one individual, Mr. Henry sees these hands. He had just seen them in work. He just seen all the work being put in. He decides that now he no longer wants to accost me coming forward as I'm facing him. Now, this is a heavyweight. This is 2 divisions above me or whatever the case may be. He's not supposed to have a problem engaging me, okay? However, he does absolutely nothing until I'm turned around. And then the thing about this is as I turned around is when an individual grabbed my back and tried to tussle with me after the fact. And then I got kicked in the head and then I got punched in the face. And I still looked the same as if I just had to fight with my first opponent. And it was 7 people on camera. You can see 7 different individuals before Mr. Lorenz Hunt and a couple other individuals go to break up the altercation. Okay. Now, mind you, once again, it's just one of me. So it takes all these individuals to prove a point and to make it seem like they're being victimized, or in this case, first of all, I have no desire once again to victimize anybody. Okay. I'm here to put on a show. All right. As you can see, all I think about is performance. I care less about the mouth because the game plan is to be successful and make sure everybody understands. What does it say here? It's very, very simple. Okay. Very simple. This is the only person that I want to put my hands on in the next 2 months, 3 months. So if they can make this happen with his whole little, I should be this.
So we got to ask you this. We're hearing that you were fired. Did you lose your job with the BKFC, or is that bullshit?
First and foremost, I'm a private contractor. So
you weren't even under contract at that point.
No, not at all. No, I did not.
You were on a 1 fight at a time contract.
Yes, sir. So there is no obligation for them for that to even be a part of anything. No, absolutely not.
Here's an interesting comment. I'll give you my purse to make this happen. Brandon Lambert's here in the comments says that he wants this fight made. He calls you a prolific liar. He's heavy in the comments right now, Washington. Do you want to watch the fight? Do you want to? We have the video right here. You can commentate your way through it if you want. Want to do that?
You can do whatever works for you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's throw it up there. We'll let Red Washington commentate it as if you were sitting ringside. Here we go.
Not a problem.
You're gonna be showing Wheelock.
I'm giving my opponent compliments on what he touched me with as in the fight, to be respectful as a competitor. And then this gentleman here starts accosting me, and I try to avoid him immediately. I say, no problem, man. I'm gonna get out of here. No problem, man. I'm walking away. And I say, boss. And then he goes to walk forward. Now, that's an edited version of the film. But however, Mr. Green here got all the way up on me. Okay. And then this is not the second time that he tried to walk up to be physically aggressive towards me based upon him having alcohol in his system. Now, as you see this, you see right here, once again, you don't see the beginning part. This is a whole edited version of the actual footage. Okay.
No, I made the footage myself, and this is like straight beginning to end. I didn't cut anything out of it. I think what happened is since my angle that I'm standing at, that Henry is like standing in front of me, and you just can't see what happens at that moment. But like it's beginning to end. I have like the footage like straight up. The only thing I did was I threw some graphics on it, and I put just the you guys both talking, both of your words, so that you guys both had your side of the story.
And I can tell you that I was standing right there, so you could see me right there on the right.
I see you right there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my big ass right there. You guys were having a gentleman's conversation, a professional conversation. I heard everything that you and Jones were saying there. It was nothing but professionalism between the two of you. Then I think you even fist bump him at some point.
Yeah.
You turn around and walk away.
My fist bump.
And then you turn around, and it was at this point right here. What happens right there? What is said between the two of you?
He says, in this time right here, he says, and I told you we're gonna fight, and I don't care what you want to do. If you tell me again you want to go outside, you tell me you want to go outside, we can do it right here. I say, what? Do what right here? Man, listen, man, whatever, boss. Just call my management. You hear me say boss, and I walk away. Okay? I walk away.
All right, let's turn this up a little bit. Hold on.
You hear me say boss. You can do whatever you want, boss.
Hey, Robert,
You can do whatever you want, boss.
All right. So
You
Lambert
can do whatever you
says,
want, boss.
yes, Lambert says he never touched you.
Okay. Well,
But-
in a lot of things he didn't do. But a lot of things he didn't do.
But in your defense, we cannot see what happens behind Mr. Henry there.
And first and foremost, this is not the first time that this gentleman has accosted me. I don't know him. We're not friends. First and foremost, let's be very frank here, okay? I don't know this individual. Okay, we've never sit down and shared a cup of tea. You understand what I'm saying? So for him to even approach me other than with complete respect and understanding that I'm a man as he is, okay, except I come from a different side of the track, okay? That means that if you're aggressive verbally towards a person and you're coming forward, I'm in danger, okay? First and foremost. So I refuse to allow anything to take place that's going to damage my face without me having a response. Okay, that's the bottom line. Now, this person approached me not one time, but two times. This was the third time that this guy in one night approached me based upon his foolishness. I don't look to put my hands on random individuals. I avoid. Okay, but this person here, when he approached me the first time, he was hostile. I told him then to go contact my management. That was the end of your promo to sell anything that you wanted to sell. We are not friends, my friend. Okay, we are business associates. That means that we have there's no reason for us to have any type of communication. After the competition, yes, we can have our feelings could be hurt because of our friends are in the are competing. I get that. But to do what he did on numerous occasions, and the security wanted to get him out of there earlier, they didn't. Okay. So it wasn't like I was just the only individual that was starting to have individual problems with this one person. Okay. Now he can state whatever he wants in the comments. He can say however he feels. Just know this, we're looking for the contract to compete. Right. So the rest of what he says doesn't matter. You know, like the rest of what anybody else says, it doesn't matter other than the fact that I was accosted. As a professional athlete, you know, I felt I was attacked. I felt that I had a necessary need to defend myself. I was outnumbered.
Yeah. What I think had happened was, and the audience is pretty much split down the middle. A lot of people are on Brandon's side. A lot of people are on your side. Like Joe Ivy says here, what exactly did you expect him to happen? Chasing a grown man, walking to get away with, trying to get away with running your mouth. Honestly, I really think this leads to a big fight between the two of you in a big bag, as you say. You know what I mean? Like we caught up with you in the parking lot, and you cut a promo of all promos, man. I don't know if that came off the top of your head or not, but.
Everything I speak is off the top of my head, sir. I am 100% authentic.
There's
nothing about me fabricated.
Yeah, everything. So okay.
It was enjoyable, I can tell you that. I was trying to like keep a straight face because you were saying when you hit off with the Ninja Turtles line and you want a cowabunga, I was
like,
started
laughing. I was trying not to laugh because you guys are trying to do an interview, and I was like, I got to put my head down, not look. That was a good. That was a good one. I like that.
So what it comes down to is the two sides. He says he hadn't touched you. We cannot see it in that video, and that video is unedited. 100%.
I promise you, I would never edit anything. The way we do things around here is like we just do straight down the middle, right down the line, but we make sure both sides get their side of the story out. I'll put it out, you know, plain and simple. I'm not messing. I'm not on either side. I'm for both of you. You know, you both fight. You give us entertainment. You're helping us by coming on our show. So we respect you guys, and we're not trying to you know, I'm not going to cut the video up. I would never do that. That's just the angle, boss. I was on.
It's all good. It just felt like, because I've seen so many, like, I can't lie to you, over the last week, man, I've had like hundreds of different videos sent to me. So I don't really know which one is which. I just remember the gentleman tapping me the first time on the shoulder. Like, this is why it was important to get the first footage of the first time, the second time, and then the third time, because you would see the progression. The first time he sees me trying to walk away from him, the next time he's all up on me, then the third time is where we actually collide. Now, I avoided his whole team the entire night. Okay, I only wanted to be respectful to my opponent. So I waited for him to be done with his medical stuff because they had to do all the suturing and stuff. I waited for everything to calm down and to go to his family. And then I took it upon myself as a competitor that I am. And I went to go down and speak with him. Okay. My purpose was the premise of me going up to him at that time was to buy him a drink, buy him dinner. Okay. And to ask him about what his plans are in the future and so on and so forth. This is who I am as a person. I am not a guy who just mysteriously just pops a guy for no reason. Okay. This guy deserved it. First and foremost, he deserves a lot more, whole bag of knuckle sandwiches. Okay. And I want to give him his knuckle sandwich desire. Okay. I want to be that one. Okay. Obi-Wan Kenobi, I am y'all only hope. Let me give it to him. Okay. So it's really imperative that I get the opportunity to shut up a person who deserves to be shut up.
So Red, if you guys were to, do you think that this little skirmish was a blessing in disguise? Like, honestly, as long as no charges are being pressed on everybody, all this is going to do is set up a future for you and everybody involved. Now, you know, people were talking about maybe a rematch with you and Ryan Jones after the injury, but honestly, honest to God, you won that fair and square. It was that fight's over. But now you have a fight with Quentin Henry that you could go up to. You can go up to fight Quentin Henry. You could go down, meet Brandon Lambert at 165. You got Red versus the GOAT agency in your sights, and everybody's going to get paid here in the long run. I really feel like if you guys were to make it outside and settle things outside that Boutwell auditorium,
see, we're not redirected. I don't mean to cut you out, but we ain't fixing to redirect nobody to a new fight. The only fight is to be made is Mr. Green Hair versus Mr. Bald Head Red. Okay. the rest don't mean anything. They can wait in line, but Mr. Green, Mr. Collard Greens, I need to eat. So go ahead and get your weight up. Okay, because I'll bring the cornbread to the dinner. Trust me. Okay, that's all I want. You see that shirt? This is the dedication and hard work that I put in within 24 hours of putting my hands on you, boy. And I ain't playing with you. I want you. Okay, I need you. Come on, sign the paperwork.
Yeah, she
that's
says.
All I ask for.
Okay, all right. And another viewer says, why does he have to go down to 165 when Brandon walks around at 180? So I really feel like
sounds like somebody was scared.
So I don't know. He's heavy in the comments here. He's heavy in the comments, saying a lot of things, and like, man, he's got some supporters. He's saying, Brian Perez says you made that shirt to ride
Brandon Lambert's dick.
Brandon's dick. I don't know.
There's like, you know, like he said earlier, there's half of the comments are against you, of course, and the other half are for you. So, which is a great thing to have because those are the people that are going to be like, we want to see this. We want to see this. So, hey, keep pushing it. I think that this is going to be some lead up to a fight because there's a lot of video they can use already. And if you keep cutting promos like you did and like you have been, and Brandon keeps running his mouth like he always does, he knows what to say at the right time, and he knows how to get people to watch too. So you guys could really draw in a really good crowd.
Dig his own hole all day. All I'm gonna do is put the sand over top. I'm one of these people. I'm real calm and collective about everything that I'm doing, and there's a reason behind it. I'm confident in my skill set. I don't got to talk much to you. I don't have to explain everything to the T, but you understand what my work, my finishing result is supposed to look like.
I will tell you that we ran into you in the parking garage right afterwards, and you were cool as a cucumber. And that, so you obviously got nerves of steel. You got a plan, and you got a drive in you that most don't. Let me ask you this: have you been in contact with the BKFC, Nate Shook, David Feldman? Anybody been in contact with you since Friday night?
This is the most intriguing thing is when I read all the comments online and stuff. But before I left the building, I spoke with everybody as I left the building. So and there was no inclination of any issues. So for me to get online and to run into any type of provocation, it's the same level of foolishness as Mr. Lambert's mouth. Okay, if the boss ain't talking to me, why would he be talking to the world? So, and with that being said, I haven't had any issues with the upper management. Okay, and I'm looking forward to a return.
Well, in regards to
Okay.
the fight, did they say anything to you like, hey, what do you think about fighting Lambert? Has anything been said to you about that?
No, they didn't say anything about Lambert. And from what I was talked to about for the commission and stuff, they said I was entirely too big. You know, like it would be hard to sanction the fight. But Mr. Lambert dug the hole so he can eat a couple sandwiches, go eat some peanut butter sandwiches, go to sleep, do some push-ups. You know what I'm saying? And actually get a record, so he can't pick and say anything. A record, go win a fight somewhere, and then maybe I wouldn't have as much issue. But other than that, I don't care what his record is. I really just want to punch him in the face on live television for everybody to see, to understand that it's very imperative to be selective on how you treat others. Okay, I am the judge, jury, and executioner in this situation. Okay, Mr. Lambert deserves. He's been found guilty. He's been sentenced. I will carry out his sentence.
I think you being a Florida guy yourself, him being a Florida guy, they got a big event in June in Miami, and I feel like they need to build the rest of the card underneath those 4 title fights. And what better place to showcase this grudge match but Miami in June 19th, I believe it is. So what do you say, Mr. Washington? You're gonna have to get up when we let you go. You're gonna have to go through these comments and see who you want to line up, because you got a lot of support in there, but you also got a lot of haters in there. But even Brandon Lambert himself says that haters are the ones that drive the train. You know what I mean? So Thank you for coming on here. We'll give you an opportunity. We'll give you an opportunity to shout out some sponsors, shout out whoever you want to shout out for Friday night's event, and then we'll let you get on going.
Okay. First and foremost, I'd like to thank my team out of all the people at Shift MMA. Okay. These gentlemen and women take the time to invest in individuals that come from a troubled background, and they always want to assist. Okay. I appreciate them to the utmost. These are the people that have changed my life at a time where I needed change. Okay. I'd like to thank the people who backed them, to give them the will to back people like myself. You understand? Teamwork will always make a dream work. Believe in yourself, believe in everybody else who invests in you. I'd like to thank all my family members, friends, and relatives who paid for that BKFC app. It was over 70 people purchased the app just to watch me fight. Okay, so that in itself is so imperative to me, and it's so important to a person who comes from my background. Okay, the rest will pave its own way. I thank you guys for taking the time to have the communication line with me. I look forward to Mr. Green here eating one of these, and you guys have a blessed night.
All right, my man. Thank you so much for coming on. That's hey, what if we were to set up like a split screen Red versus Malo conversation at some point? Would you do that? Would you be willing for that?
If my team agrees, I agree. Whatever my team states, and this is one thing about me. If my team said fight tomorrow and they believed I can go do it, I'm strapped up, I'm suited and booted. You hear me? So it's what they want for me is what I'm going to do.
All right, man. So we're gonna let you go. We're gonna bring one of your boys in right now, and we're gonna talk to him too. Thank you so much for coming on. Giving us some of your time. And that's a glorious T-shirt, my friend. You have a great night.
I love it. They're on sale too. Don't get it twisted. They're on sale.
Oh yeah. Before we let you go, everybody check out Red Washington 813 on Instagram, and Robert Washington on Facebook. And 813 is Tampa, right?
It's Tampa. That's Tampa. That's the city of Tampa. I got 2 different styles of shirts. I'll have like 15 soon. Okay. I already have my own clothing line as well, so I can pitch everything together. All right.
And everybody can find that through links on your social medias?
Yes, you can. It'll all be on the social media links, so you'll be able to access it.
All right. And you're welcome for Tom Brady coming from New England. We let you guys have him. You got yourself a Super Bowl. All right, man. You have a great night. Take it easy.
You have a great one as well.
Bye-bye.
Take it easy.
All right. That was one half of the biggest story out of Friday night. Out of all the stories that happened Friday night, Mike.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of them. There was first round knockouts. There was Frank Tate in the main event. There was Lorenzo Hunt winning another one. A little skirmish in the crowd is the one that stole the show. And we have another guy, another emerging big time up and comer for BKFC, but he has a hell of an MMA record at 10-2. The guy who held the Titan FC world title in Titan FC. He is recovering from a knee injury that he sustained at Knucklemania. We're going to bring him in right now. He is Martin Smash Brown. What is going on, sir?
What's good? What's good?
Hey, we just had your boy Rob Red Washington on. I gotta tell you right now. Are you guys teammates? You guys train every day together, or?
Yeah, he came after the last BKFC fight he had. But he's coming in like about 2 times a week, and then he started ramping it up. And once he was in like 3 to 4 or 5 times a week, it was like, hey, you want to fight? And he said, yeah. And he hit it hard. He hit it real hard. And when he got in, I started seeing things that he hasn't shown the public yet. So I was like, man, I think I don't know if they're ready, if they're basing their training off of what they seen on the last fight. So he just never had camps. He's been training for a while. If you go on Tapology, you'll see he got a fight probably over 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So he's been training. He just never had like guidance. And so
well, if he carries the same energy that he brings in conversation to his training, then I feel like he's got a little bit of a future. And obviously you were not there at the moment of the melee, but you were there at the arena that night. What are your thoughts on that whole thing before we get into you and your career? What are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like if things could have been different if you were down there? And
I know it would have been different if I was down there, because I before we even start, I don't have any problem with Brandon Lambert. That's between them. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, he spoke his piece on how he felt about it. But from what I saw, after the fight, before the fight, his opponent Ryan Jones had told us that he was like, hey, let's go out for some drinks or go out to get something to eat afterwards. And we were cool with it. So they fought, and we sat down at the VIP tables. Red went to greet the crowd. And then he came back and he said, hey man, Brandon Lambert just ran down on me. And I was like, what? The YouTube dude? And he's like, yeah. That's like with the green hair? He's like, yeah. I was like, man, he's just doing something for social media, man. I don't think he don't want to fight like that. And so we didn't really put no, you know what I'm saying? We didn't think much of it. So that was during the fights. So after the fights, Red was still in the inside, and me and my business partner, we were in the front, and one of the coaches, I think the coach from Oklahoma, came and got me, and he was like, hey man, your guy in there fighting. And so security brought Red to me, and I see Quentin being rushed out through the front. I never saw Brandon being thrown out. I don't know where he was, but I see Quentin getting thrown out, and I don't know who the other guys were. So we go in the inside, and we still got to pick up the check. So going to pick up the check, I asked Nate Shook what happened. Nate was like, we'll know more when we see the footage. So but
what footage are they talking about? Are they talking about cell phone footage? Are they talking about Mish'N Accomplished footage? What are they talking about?
I have no idea.
The cameras were off. Cameras were off at that point, man.
Yeah, don't make me lie to you, man. I don't really know. He just told me he'll know more when he see the footage.
Oh,
so I'm checking to see if he hurt. He had his lip was busted and his headphones was broke. So I didn't. I mean, for the most part, I mean, like we from a different place. So I mean, I'm from Mississippi. He's from Florida, but he's from a different place. So it's like if he's as far as he's concerned, as long as he ain't hurt, he don't put much thought into it. So we after it was over, all the videos surfaced, and so I don't really have a problem with Brandon. To be honest, I kind of, what I'm saying, I kind of like him in the fact that he does bring attention. He does bring attention to the sport. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I mean, had it not been for you asked earlier, was it a blessing in disguise? You know what I'm saying? Like, Red had to just whoop Ryan and went home. I mean, you know how BKFC is, man. A whole bunch of people getting whooped in one night. So
Right.
something
10 people.
significant need to happen,
That's
in
what
order
I'm
to
saying.
be remembered. And Brandon got pushed in the mouth, you know what I'm saying? So and that was significant for the night, you know what I'm saying? It shit went viral. Everybody's watching it, everybody's paying attention. People want to know what's next. So, the fact that it's talk is good, the only thing is you just want to make sure that it isn't seen as like, oh, it's not a safe environment because
Right.
people in the stands fighting. So like that's the catch-22 behind it. But
Right.
you know what I'm saying, due to Brandon, running his mouth, it did go viral, man. So like I like the fact that he does shit like that. He keeps people he keep the person he about to fight relevant.
Yeah, and
So
you
I think
gotta give Brandon Lambert some credit for taking the shot, and
yeah.
he took a shot. Even though Tony Loco Soto says your man has no hands, he's in the comments there. Maybe Tony will fight Red if Brandon don't.
And
You know what I
Tony
mean?
ain't Tony a 55?
I think he could go up. I think everybody can go up, man. All you gotta
He
do is have a
looked
sandwich.
kind of small, but I will say this: I think Tony was the one who grabbed him from the back, and so I guess here's the psychology for me. When like the things that I do want to clear up based on the footage now, because I'm gonna be the first to tell you I didn't see it live, so I can't speak on anything that I didn't see. I saw him when they brought him to me, but just dissecting it. When when I'm looking at the video, it sounded like Red said, if you turn the volume up, it sounds, because I wanted to know what Red said too before we can, the last thing I want to do is sound like a damn fool vouching for my guy. And then what happens on what you see on camera is the opposite of what you just said in the interview. So I turned the volume up to see what was said. We don't know. We know Red came up and said that the guy approached him before. All I know is what he told me, so I didn't see it, and that's it. There's no footage of the first time Brandon walked up to him, so I don't have nothing to go from. But there is footage of the second time. What it sounded like he said to me when the video came on is, "Okay, boss. Okay, boss." I don't, but I'm just going by what I thought I heard when I turned the volume up. Then you see Red walk away. You see Brandon go behind him, and then you see Brandon get hit. Then after that, you see Red square up with Quentin. Quentin ran over there. Red squared up with Quentin. Quentin stopped. Now I'm just telling you what I see. I ain't saying the man scared, but it's on your video. So nobody can say, "Oh man, he just making some shit up," or "Oh, it's his perspective." The shit is on camera. He walked up, Red squared up. Red squared up. Quentin stopped. The guy, his last name's Soto, man. That's what they told me his name was. He grabbed Red from the back and pulled him down, and then Quentin jumped on top of him. I don't know. Red said Quentin was hitting him. I don't know, because the footage, you just see a whole bunch of people on him, so I mean, you see, I ain't trying to throw too much in or sway the audience. I'm going by what I
Right.
see on the camera. So
That's all you can do.
So here's my analysis of it. And feel free to judge me. I don't give a fuck. But when Brandon said there was a melee, I saw one punch being thrown. Melee implies that he was swinging and he just kept swinging. And then when I asked the guy, I went on you guys, I think you guys got a group chat, so in the group chat, I asked the guy, I saw he got a video of him punching the bag. I said, man, wasn't you the one that grabbed Red? And I ain't say nothing else. I just wanted to ask before, you know what I'm saying? So I know who did what, you know what I'm saying, before you get on the microphone and start running your mouth. So I asked him and he said that was him, but he replied and said that, oh, I was just trying to break up a melee. It wasn't, just like the people were saying, I mean, in the comment section, what number one punch thrown, so it wasn't no melee. So you know what that means? If he wasn't actively swinging at a whole bunch of people causing a whole bunch of ruckus, then you didn't break up shit. You jumped on him. Does that make sense what I'm saying? He swung one time. The Soto dude grabbed him from the back and choked. I don't know if it looked like a rear naked choke to me, but I don't know. But Red gets pulled down, then Quentin jump on him. So where was the melee? Where was he actively trying to endanger a whole bunch of people? He punched one person. Punched one person. So I don't really have no problem with Brandon. Him and Brandon got to Brandon, the commission, David Feldman, Nate Shook, they got to decide if they're going to make this fight happen or toss that shit under the rug or whatever. However, my issue is like when you go in the comment section, you got all these people talking about how they would have kicked Red in the face while he was down, or they would have jumped on him and all of this shit. But here's the thing, man, we wasn't there. Man, like that whole situation could have went way different. And I ain't recreationally built like a lot of people is, man, in this sport, man. Like it's different. I promise you, man, I'm good people, man. I'm all about the promotion. Like if I get it, man, if Brandon Lambert had a ran in, to me, it would have been a whole bunch of fuck you, no, fuck you, fuck you, no, fuck you. Like I get it. We doing this for the cam. I'm good. But once you start putting your hands on people, man, shit different, man. You know what I'm saying? And so I just think that a lot of people in the comment section, I think a lot of people keyboard warrioring it out, and for the people who will put their hands on him after he's being held down, you're gonna kick him in the face. I think they just used to not having consequences for their actions. You hit my homeboy for real, man, I'm gonna beat your ass in the crowd.
Right.
So I mean, but I don't have a choice, you know what I'm saying? Because unless I'm gonna sit here and watch this happen and call for security to help.
You know what it is with this situation is that Brandon Lambert is like this anomaly that like people either love him or they hate him. You know what I mean? So when you go in those comment sections, they are 100% for Brandon or they're 100% against him. And the way they watch the footage, they already have their mind made up.
Right.
Yeah, you know what that's called? That's a condition called cognitive dissonance. That is when you hold on to a core value or belief so strong that you don't give a fuck about the data that's presented to you.
Right. No matter what you see, your mind's made up.
These motherfuckers was like, so he sucker punched. I'm like, listen, I told you 1,000 times, I like Brandon, but so let me rephrase it. Here's the interesting dilemma, right? Sucker punch. I swear to God, this sounds crazy, but I Googled sucker punch.
I would have done the same thing.
And I Googled. I would have to do it. I Googled sucker punch, and sucker punch implies that you got hit unexpectedly. So here's the thing. There is a chance that Brandon walked up and didn't think he was going to get hit in the mouth. You know? So I guess technically that's sucker punch. However, people with good sense would be like, man, you had to expect somebody you walked up behind and you was talking about fighting. I mean, I get it, Brandon.
Right.
You didn't put your hands on. I'm not saying you did. I didn't see you put your hands on him on the video.
But you're also saying what you expect to happen when you
I
walk up
expect
on somebody saying some shit.
Yeah, I would listen. If I'm riding in traffic, I stop at a light and I roll my window down, and the man next to me, I say, "Man, fuck you, you a bitch." I expect him to get out of the car and want to whoop my ass. You know,
Right.
I expect him to want to fight.
You know what I was thinking is like, if you putting myself into Washington's position, right? And anyone who's watching, right? Pretend.
Yeah, I want y'all to be honest about that. What would you do if somebody walking behind you?
Well, pretend you're alone.
I would.
So I feel like this.
You want me to be honest? I would have done the same thing.
Please be honest.
Yeah. All right. So check it out though. Listen, it was red, and like you said, you weren't there, right? So listen, what I'm doing is like, I'm not saying like I said earlier, I'm just being devil's advocate, right? If I'm by myself and I know somebody's been, coming at me all night, right? And then I'm talking to somebody who happens to be that person's boy, right? On their team, their squad, whatever you want to say. And I walk up and I have, Ryan Jones, who's nice. He's in front of me. And then I got Brandon Lambert comes up next to me. And then I turn around and I have Quentin Henry's right here to my right. And then I look over here and there's Elvin. And then there's, Tony and there's everyone else. And I'm not saying
they're all good
this,
dudes.
I guarantee, they're all good people. And I guarantee when they were standing there, they were just talking to each other because we were walking around doing interviews and people were just walking around. And the reason we were there is because Kyle walked up and he was like, oh, let's get an interview with Ryan Jones because we got one earlier in the day. Let's talk to him. Now he's standing right here, but he happened to be talking to Red. So that's why I was standing right there, just waiting for Kyle to walk up. He's got the microphone. So I think the way he felt like he's surrounded. So that might be from his position. He's like, all right, I'm just talking to Jones. And then when he starts getting this from the left and he looks over and it's Brandon and he just saw Quentin over here, he looks in the back and there's more people. And he's like, damn, they got me surrounded and he's coming at me. So I'm trying to walk away. He's going to start following me. I feel like it just kind of, made him like he has. It's fight or flight. I mean, he thinks you're coming at me and I'm surrounded. What do I do?
So I'm asking you, what would you do?
It's either you start swinging
because
no,
or
you take off.
What would you do?
I might do the same thing. Yeah, I might have to do the same thing.
So now what? And the other, your partner said he'll do the same thing.
If
I would feel like I would feel threatened. No, because I've been in this situation before where I felt threatened, but.
Right.
So because I really don't think anything he did was wrong. I don't feel like Red did anything wrong because I would have felt the same level of threat if I turn around and I seen everybody be like, all right, well, it's fight or flight. Time to get fucking busy right now.
Right.
And then, expect to get jumped on. I don't know. I've been jumped on. So, we've all probably been in this situation before.
Right. And I know
kudos to Red though. Kudos to Red. Like, hey, he punches Brandon and squares up with Quentin.
Yeah, Quentin's a big boy, dude.
But the thing is, Red from a street called Nebraska and Fletcher, and like Red out there by Nebraska, Fletcher, Florida Avenue, like in the hood. So like he's relatively new to this sport. So when Brandon walked up, I could see how he thought, like, when you talking that shit, he thought you weren't promoting. He thought this was a fight. But so I mean, it's one of them things, man, where like it's when promoting meets.
It's when keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. but
it goes wrong.
Yeah, I mean, and in the end of the day, Brandon could still use that and say, hey, man, I got hit. I ate it. Red could still use that and say, shit, you seen his shirt he got out and they say, I hit that bitch. Red could use the shirt, sell the shirts, promote his next fight. I feel like it's a win-win for everybody. And, right now, Brandon, I'm looking in the comment section, Brandon getting into it with Dave Mundell. The only thing I see, though, is a lot of these people that he's into it with, it just ain't no commissioner that's gonna improve that, man. So like, if
Except for like Tyler Good, like the one like Tyler Goodjohn's his weight class.
he ain't got that many
But Tyler
fights,
Goodjohn,
man.
yeah, Tyler Goodjohn's on a different level as far as where he is at his career. But
Yeah,
he has shot a few shots. Like, but when we talk about the Tyler Goodjohns of the world, we should be talking about you, not Brandon Lambert, right?
man.
Let's
Yeah,
let's roll
run
right into that. Let's fucking put all this shit to the side. And
it.
Smash Brown is recovering from a knee injury that he sustained against Zach
Zach Zane.
Zane back at Knucklemania. Where are you in your recovery, and how soon do we see you fight the winner of Tyler Goodjohn, Louis Palomino?
Man, I'm just waiting on the rehab people, man. Like, I'm on box jumps, as you can see. I can't. I mean, I think I can jog, but they're recommending I don't. So I'm just following their instructions because the thing that's scary is, man, that surgery fucking sucked. So I don't want to do something that's gonna re-tear the ACL, and I have to start this shit all over, redo the surgery, then go back and do rehab all over again. So I just been leaving that up to people who went to school for this shit and specialize in this. But
Now,
y'all know who
the
gonna win
injury,
that.
the injury, did you already have an injury going into the fight, or did you like plant wrong? I don't remember how you injured it. I just remember you being injured, fighting basically on one leg, basically like that kid skiing on one ski and fucking Better Off Dead back in the 80s movie. I don't know if you guys seen that, but one of my favorites. You fought on one leg basically for the rest of that fight, and you beat Zach Zane. How did it happen in the fight? I don't remember.
I don't know, man. Like, I did feel like, so how you have wrestling tie-ups and then you have boxing tie-ups. And I felt like when we were tying up, man, I felt like we was in the Greco-Roman clinch. And I think a lot of that had to do with, I mean, shit, him about to be hit with a bare knuckle, and it's your first time. And I'm pretty fucking capable of doing it too. You know what I'm saying? I think he was just like, man, goddamn, he trying to hit me like that. And when he grabbed me, he tied me up. And if I was even telling it in the second round, I was telling it, I don't know if it was the second or the end of the first round, I was yelling at the ref like, bro, he trying to take me down. He ain't even just tying up to
He's
get
not trying to
safe.
clinch. He's trying to
Like, he trying to take
grapple.
me down. And I heard something pop, man, and I knew I was fucked.
Damn.
And I got up, tried to walk it off. But I don't know, man, like, you can just stay on the floor and take the no contest. But
Or you
I
can
was
get the
like,
fuck up.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's it. It probably was stupid, but when you in there, you just, I don't know, man. When I was in there at that moment, I just felt like I never felt like I was gonna lose. I'm like, I'm still gonna win. I just have to do it like this, or I just have to do it like that, And I just started. You can even hear in the corner, if you go back to the video, watch me when I go in the corner. I walk through the possibilities when I was in there with Jihad. I said, hey man, I'm having problems catching him when he's running. I can't slip the punches because I can't sit on my legs anymore. I told him, I said, I'm gonna have to walk in with a real tight high guard, and I'm gonna turn this into a fight, a dirty, ugly fight, and I'm gonna just try to clip him. And he says, my thoughts exactly. You're gonna have to clip him, and that was his word. So I went in there and
Clipped him.
boom, and down he went.
It's impressive. I mean, come on, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Hey, Martin, can you tell me? So, all right, listen. Joe Ivy's in the comments. She's already asked you to marry her. All right? She threw some love eyes out there, and then she says you guys are made for each other. And then she said somewhere in here, it says, can you please make him say some more smart words? So I guess you dazzled her early.
Tell her that's all
I don't know
got.
what it was, right?
I don't even know what the fuck.
Tell her that's all I got, man. You know, high school education, as far as I went, that's all I got, man. Mom and dad got master's degrees, and I chose to fight for a living. So,
Oh man, I love it.
so it is what it is. But as far as Palomino and Good John go, man, I think it's interesting. I don't know what Palomino, I mean, what Good John. I don't know. I think I think Good John is good because he brings the audience from the UK. But I've never been impressed with Good John. And to be quite frank with you, I don't believe that the level of athleticism is the same as in the States. And most people don't want to say it because they don't want to offend people.
Right.
But due to the fact that I beat people up for a living, I don't give a fuck what they think about it. I just think the athleticism is just different. I mean, so
So
I think I think he's 15 and what, 3 in boxing over there. He wouldn't have made it that far over here. A bum would have beat him up. I mean, he went in there with Crazy Horse, and I wasn't sure if he won.
right.
And you know, Crazy Horse is older, and he's, you know what I'm saying, he's Crazy Horse is Crazy Horse, you know what I'm
Crazy
saying?
Horse has what 90 or 80 fights. It's just
Right.
nuts how much he's been in there.
And he ain't beat Crazy Horse up. And he had
Right.
and then Crazy Horse doing shit that every fucking body do in the States. Like Crazy Horse just using footwork. So
Right.
you having problems dealing with a moving fighter. I mean, that's shit that you can find at any gas station. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? A motherfucker with some footwork, like, or swag, like head movement, flashy movements. Like you see that shit in the States, left and right. But I just feel like they don't see that kind of shit over there across the pond. So I don't believe that I ain't gonna say I don't believe he deserved it because he has a following. You know, he got a whole country behind him. So, um, but I just don't. I mean, you fought Crazy Horse and that's it.
Right.
You ain't fight nobody else. And as far as Palomino is concerned, I think according to Palomino page, he was saying that he wanted. He was saying he want to get paid, man. And I listen. I respect that, man. Like he been doing this shit for a long time, so I get it. He want to get paid if he's gonna get hurt, and he probably looking for something that, you know, he could sit back and go home to. I mean, retire from. However, he did say don't nobody want to fight.
Which is
Don't nobody
false.
want to fight me, which is dead ass false. Like you got people in the comment section. If you go look in his comment section, you'll see where Jahad Wingfield, who was my head coach, has posted that we wanted to fight. The reason why I ain't say nothing, because I don't want to. I'm not good at doing the shit that Brandon do. You know, I'm not good at here I am going through fucking rehab. What I look
Right.
like calling Palomino me next. I'm gonna fight your ass next, and I have problems putting my goddamn shoes on right now.
But the
You
thing
know
is,
what I'm
like
saying?
Palomino was saying that, and like he's fighting Good John now.
I mean, man,
But while Palomino was saying that nobody wanted to fight him, Good John was like actively calling him out on social media. So I was like, what's he doing saying nobody wants to fight him when this guy who has a huge following both in the United States and in the UK is actively putting things online saying, I want to fight you. So what
Right.
the fuck is going on here? And then they finally made the fight. So, but I feel like, so you say you got Palomino in that fight.
hell yeah, I got, man, hell yeah. Y'all, listen, I know that it's your job to be non-biased, but
Right.
you know goddamn well who gonna win that fight. I'm just not trying to ruin neither one of these boys' money, so I ain't gonna go out on no public platform and say, man, y'all know such and such gonna beat such and such ass. But you know as well as I know exactly who gonna win that fight. You know, and you know it. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be competitive, and I don't think it's gonna go past the first round. You
Well,
know,
the one thing I can say is if Good John fights like he did in his last fight, he's not going to win that fight.
Right.
Say
It
that for
don't
sure.
matter,
There's
man.
no way in hell. He looked better in his prior fights, but when I saw him fight, it was
You know
not what I
why?
thought it was going to be.
You know why he looked better in the prior fights?
Because they
Where
were
were
in the
those
UK.
guys from?
Because they were in the
The
UK.
UK.
Right.
That's your stance, and you're sticking with it.
Yep.
Shit different over here, man. I mean, y'all know, man. Y'all know. I just you don't want to piss your UK fans off. You know what I'm saying? I don't either, but I don't. I'm a student of the arts, man. So like, I
Yep.
like to respect it enough to tell the truth. It's just different over here, and I don't know the exact reason why it's different over here, but shit is different. It's some people where they say, "Hey, man, this guy from this country," I'd be like, "Well, I'm finna get an easy check now. I ain't finna have to
Well,
work for
just
this shit."
watch the Olympics for years and years
Yeah,
and years. I mean,
yeah, you
there's
know who
something
gonna win,
about
There's 2 or 3 countries that run the Olympics every
right,
single time. Yeah.
and
right?
yep,
And so like when I see, especially, and what sports they good at, these like when you get on the line and you look over and you see a Jamaican, you be like, "Oh fuck."
He's going to be fast.
It's like that. I mean, where's the lie?
Right.
Where's the lie?
That dead truth.
yeah.
So
and
when they see me
know.
on the card, they be like, "Oh fuck, there you go."
You do
Yeah.
know, though.
Like wrestling with
hockey,
Dagestani.
basketball, gymnastics, I was going to say wrestling, but I feel like it's
Joe Ivy says wrestling with Dagestanis. That's a bad day.
yeah, with
I
Dagestani.
mean,
Yeah, but maybe not. Yeah, I mean,
they produce. I
not
mean,
in the
they
Olympics,
producing
though.
wrestlers. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So like, I'm gonna say this much: I do believe that those
Maybe I'm
guys
wrong.
be matching guys, man. Like, I don't want to. If I could screenshot what Khabib's record was prior to the UFC, you're gonna find a whole bunch of debuts on that record.
Yeah. You
And most
find a
people,
bunch of guys you never heard of in 2-round matches.
no, it's worse than that. You're gonna find guys with negative records, or
Right.
he got 12 fights, they got 2 fights. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say that. Oh man, and I'm not shitting on this man, but I do respect the arts enough to tell the truth. I mean, it's easy. It's hard to say that you producing or you good if you being matched.
Right.
You fucking being matched. You got people that's put in front of you to win.
I've actually caught heat for having that exact stance. I'm like, his first 19 fights
with Bomb City,
20, maybe 23, 24 fights, you cannot find a fucking name that you could either name or somebody with a record. And I've caught heat for that. And I'm like, yeah,
that's a hell of a manager, though. How do you find 20-some bums, though? I mean, where the fuck you get these guys from? 20 bums? I mean,
There's
maybe
a lot
2
of
or
people
3
out
of them,
there.
but 20 bums.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't too many gas stations out here in Tampa that I can find 20 people that want to fight me on a fight in a televised fight. So, I mean, again, I'm not saying that. I mean, yeah, remember I'm 55 and I just can't walk into a sport and say that I believe that he would have whooped me, and I just don't believe he would have whooped me. However, I ain't saying that man ain't good. I did see what he did to Poirier, and I think Poirier is dope. I did see what he did to Gaethje, and I think Gaethje is dope. So nobody's saying that he sucked, but people are saying that he got matched. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's a part of the game that's often overlooked. I don't get none of these dudes props unless you do something worthy of getting props. Like I'm gonna say this. Like I say, I on record, I want all the smoke with Palomino, and I don't even think Palomino will be a hard fight for me either. I think he'll be easy work, and I think I'll dust his ass off.
That was going to be my follow-up question. Like,
man,
if he runs through Good John, do you see a threat in Palomino?
No, I don't see no fucking threat with none of these dudes. All of these dudes.
What about 165?
Nope. I don't think I even start being threatened until I get to 175. Originally, I asked Jihad, I said, how many of them belts do he think that I could take? And he said 3 of them. And I said, run that shit. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, man, I'm taking, like, I was originally with Titan, so I ain't a guy who got beat out of the belt. You know what I'm saying? Like when that Corona hit, they didn't have shows going on. Feldman was on a radio station. He was talking about I ain't gonna lie. You want to know the truth? He said, hey man, they asked him. He said, hey man, that's gonna be my next 155 champion. And you know, looking at this shit online, I was like, this don't look visually appealing to me. This shit look like people get fucked up. No, man, I ain't doing this. But then he was on, I think the show wasn't it Chris Rothstein or something like that. He said, hey man, they asked him about Mike Tyson getting on bare knuckle. He said I offered him $20 million, and I'm like, wait a minute. You offered him how much? You got $20 million to give? So maybe we should reconsider this whole bare knuckle shit. So
he's ready to take out some loan, get some people to start giving him some money. I don't know.
I mean, if you got that
some
much
investors
to give, I was just simply like this. Count me in, and maybe this bare knuckle shit ain't that bad. I done beat up a couple of people on the street, you know. So I like right after that, they gave me the fight with Juan Pena, and you know, I just took it as like a boxing match that you're doing on the street.
Yep.
And so I won that one. My knuckles hurt a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. And
1 minute,
got in that
one in round one.
Yeah, you know, it ain't that bad once you do it.
So let me ask you this. Is MMA out of the picture? Because you were on an 8-fight win streak and you were a champion when you left MMA to come to BKFC. Would you go back? I mean, I know money is everything. Like, right, money's money. Like, if the bag is correct, then you go fight. But there's also a bare knuckle MMA coming up soon, and you're an MMA guy. Yeah. Jorge Masvidal starting. Bare knuckle MMA. He says it will be started up in June. I think it's going to be called Game Bred Fighting Championship, GFC or something like that. Game Bred Fighting Championship, owned by Jorge Masvidal and some team of his.
Who the fuck are you gonna get to do that shit?
You.
I mean,
you're the guy.
You're the guy.
Damn.
There you go.
I mean,
a 165-pound bare knuckle fight with Jorge Masvidal to kick
Cool
off
with
the
that.
event.
Cool with all of that.
Then you retire with a $20 million paycheck.
Shit, hell yeah, man! I'd tell my mama to suit up for that kind of 20 million. Shit, but I'm just playing in case my mama watching. I ain't mean that. But I guess like David Feldman said this in the interview when we were on the radio station together. He said, I said, man, I might bounce around, you know, do a little bit of MMA, do a little bit of bare knuckle. But he said in specific, he said, I like to take care of my guys so well that they see no reason to go back to MMA. So if that's true, shit. I mean, bare knuckle it is.
Yeah, and there's a retirement plan there too now. So
yeah, I saw that he said that he was getting a pension plan started. So from what I see, you know, it seems like it makes sense. You know, he looking for ways to take care of the fighters after they done.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of these guys are kind of over the hill, and they found a way that they could still compete and pick up a check. So, you know what I'm saying? I think that would be dope that they are compensated afterwards. I mean, to be honest, man, that's shit called prize fighting for a reason. If the fight ain't worth the prize, then, you know, you'll question if you still want to do this shit. So
I wonder how that pension's going to work out. I'm really curious to see.
There's way smarter people that can answer that question than me, man. High school education.
Good. Yeah, Xavier.
I just hit people. I can tell you every single thing about how to hit people now. But like I wouldn't be able to, you know, only he could elaborate more about how he plans on doing the pension. But I damn sure hope it go through. You know, he's partnering up with, I think he partnered up with Shaq as well.
Yeah.
So he's got the people to come up with the funds to do so.
Shaq has money.
And, I mean, I would think so.
I'm
I
just
saw
joking.
him on
He's got a dump truck of money. That guy.
yeah, I saw him on the show with Gilly talking about how he got all these businesses. Shit, he said on the interview that he bought entrepreneurship for dummies or starting a business for dummies. I ain't even gonna lie, I just ordered that shit off Amazon yesterday.
No.
Nice.
Don't want to see if I can get some of that money that he
Yeah.
got, you know.
Hey,
But,
knowledge is power.
Yeah, I mean, so
No.
hopefully it all hopefully it all works out. I think he on to something. I'm gonna tell you what I do think though. You know, I'm not saying this because I'm fighting for him. You know, I am saying this. I do think that what it will do is force other promotions to step their game up, man. You know, if you've been doing MMA and you getting like, you know, if you've been doing MMA, you getting like $2,000-$3,000 for a fight, and you got 15 fights, you know, and then he comes up and offers you significantly more, you know, then fuck, man, you know, you got these guys got kids and these guys got families, man. They gonna choose the bag. I mean, Paige came on TV and said that she got paid 10 times more than what the UFC made. And so, you know what I'm saying? It's like one of those things where it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer where you're going to go.
I think BKFC, because, you know, it just got legalized, you know, a few years back. And it's super exciting. With COVID happening, it just killed everything. I mean, it just crushed everything. And now that things are starting to get a little loosened, you know, and they're gaining more states that will run BKFC, will allow it in the state, you know, it's the same thing with the UFC. What happened back in the day, you know, it was illegal in all the states, and then all of a sudden they started getting legalized and sanctioned, and then they grew. But I feel like BKFC, with the media that we have now, social media, the way that they can get the word out, it's going to grow really fast. I think it's just going to blast off in the next like 2-3 years is going to be really good for this company. And once the money starts rolling, once the people start watching, and Sports Center shared like top 10 knockouts from BKFC just a few weeks ago, and there was a ton of people on there amazed at how awesome it was. And these are people that probably never even watched a single fight in BKFC. So I think that you got a good future.
Dude, to make it onto ESPN that's a feat. You know what I mean?
Somebody was telling me that Dana White has it blocked to where, like, blocking him out to where ESPN film is having problems showing footage on ESPN of the fights. I don't know how true that was, and literally that was a friend of mine was telling me, but he does follow this shit tough.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's certain things I can't speak on, but I will say this much. Even though the UFC was being, it was hard for the UFC to start off, I think it's still kind of hard to compare it to what Feldman had, because UFC wasn't going through this shit during Corona.
Right.
UFC was already established. When other shows, you have to remember why I came from MMA. Like, I'm sitting around without a fucking job, you know what I'm saying? And when he came up, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to fight a bitch with my bare knuckles. I ain't even do nothing to this man. He ain't do nothing to me. Like, this shit seemed kind of personal if you ain't got gloves on. And he was throwing shows when a lot of states wouldn't allow MMA shows to throw shows. And even right now, you have to sell tickets with social distance seating, like tickets with 2 and 4 seat blocks, and he's still pumping shows. So I do find that commendable. You know what I'm saying? I don't throw shows, so I don't know how much shit he has to go through. But I will say this much: he said on his interviews that he ain't finna be stopped. He said that he just gonna push through, and it seems like he's doing it. So,
you know, I just got something sent to me from one of our viewers that proves that David Feldman is changing the landscape of combat sports as a whole. With the shit that he's doing in the BKFC, the California State Athletic Commission will hold a meeting May 11th to discuss the expansion of Boxers Pension Fund to include MMA fighters. So
See what I'm
now,
saying?
boom, groundbreaker. I'm
See what I'm
telling you.
saying? It forces people to compete.
Right.
Competition is good for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It may not be good for the actual. I was just talking to my homeboy that went to school for business, and he was telling me in the car ride, like, man, competition is good because the thing is, now that he's bringing that to the table, man, everybody gonna leave
They're
your
going to
shit
have to.
if
Yeah.
you don't bring something to the table to compete with that. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know,
Incredible.
man. I definitely think he changed the landscape. And then here's the thing. That knuckle does have a niche, right? So me, man, I love the science of the sport. I love the science of MMA. Like, you know, the part where people are booing and there's a lot of hand fighting. I know what I'm looking at because I train for this shit.
Right.
Where a
Yeah.
casual fan doesn't know what he's looking at. So then you go to boxing, right? You don't see no punches thrown. You see a guy using footwork, he bouncing to the left and bouncing to the right. The crowd can boo that shit because they don't know what they're looking at. But I'm like, I'm appreciative of the arts. I'm like, man, look at that beautiful footwork. Man, that dude can't be touched. But the crowd want to see the man get hit. So
Right.
me being a competitor, I'm looking at the science in boxing. But the thing about bare knuckle, man, is everything in the fucking rules is designed to make your ass fight. So
Right.
you stand there toe to toe,
Mhm.
and it is like contrary to popular belief, it is an art, and it has its own set of rules.
Yeah.
You know, it's so it's still like, even though people might think it's just two people brawling, it's not. It's not. Head movements still apply, footwork still apply. You just have to make some adjustments when it comes to the tie up, because it's a
I, th-
lot of shit that normally would have been illegal in boxing, but that
Right.
shit fair game in this.
I think
You know, so
Lorenzo Hunt is one of those guys that is like the epitome of bare knuckle boxing and still using the sweet science of boxing. You know what I mean?
yeah, I
Like
mean,
Lorenzo's head movement and his footwork in the ring and the way he strikes is proof that it's not just a brawl. There's a
nah, I
science
mean,
behind it.
People are going to start learning it, and it's going to get even better and better because you're going to start seeing more and more people getting better and better, and it's going to get really good. Like it's awesome, and like you said, people have to go after each other because there's only 5 rounds. You got 2-minute rounds. It forces people to go. You can't like point fight. It's not going to be 10 rounds with 3 minutes. You're not going to be able to just take points off of people. It's just not going to work as boxing does. You know?
yeah, and it fits that niche. It fits that niche of like people want to see a fight. You damn sure about to see a fight now.
Right.
You're gonna see two people slug it out, you know, and it's gonna be high pace. Even the rounds only being like, if it's 3 minutes, I got a little time to bounce around. But when you got 2 minutes, even in the amateurs, you look up amateur boxing, you see how they fight in those 2 minute rounds, and then you see how the pros fight in 3 minute rounds. Then you see how guys fight in MMA in 5 minute rounds. It gets slower and slower and slower the longer the round is. And it gets more methodical.
Right.
When it's 2 minute rounds, we don't have time to be methodical because we got to rack up these points. Or if you down, you need to try to catch up. So you're always pushing the pace. So I mean, I could see all the thought. I can see all the thought that was put into this, and that makes people fight. Even having a corner, like the extra dimensions that you would have had if you had to have 4 corners, is completely circular. Even the ropes don't even give. You can't even lean back on the ropes to you know what I'm saying, get a couple of inches on that slip from a punch. You have to, I mean, you stuck in there. What does
I
this
feel
say?
like
Question for Smash: which fight
In
from
your
his
career, would you
career
like
would it?
to a chance to run back?
Man, I'm just like everybody else that fought, man. I run all of them back because
I feel
you
like
know how, like, when you watch people fights and they get their ass tuned up, and you know that the person better than you, But you still say it just off of pride and ego. You say, I want to run that shit back. But you can go through all my fights. I've never associated, see, psychologically, like it's like this. If you lose in something and you give that man the props, you say, man, damn, he's so fast, or man, he can crack, or he's so, you know what I'm saying? He keeps setting me up like this and that. Then the brain is an associative muscle. You gonna attribute your ass whooping to him being better than you. I always attribute a loss to something that I should have did. I should have done better. I shouldn't have let him do this. So that way I just don't feel like any of these dudes better than me. But I said all that to say this. I really don't believe that if the circumstances were straight, you know what I'm saying, I would have lost any of those fights. I can walk you through every single loss I had. You know what I'm saying? Like even when I got with the earlier fights, I was from Mississippi. We don't even have wrestling in the whole state. And I got thrown into a Bellator fight with JP Reese, who was a wrestling coach for ATT back when Rashad was competing. Yeah. And I didn't get hit not one time, but I did get taken down once every single round. And shit, I lost on points. You
said there's no wrestling in the state of there's like no high school wrestling, no nothing?
Absolutely none. So I didn't even know what the fuck I was looking at. I was just underprepared, which is why I ended up moving to Florida. That's crazy to me. But now you go, if after that, man, once I linked up with Jihad, I still have yet to lose a fight when Jihad Wingfield running the camps. I met him in Mississippi. He said, hey, man, I don't know nothing about that MMA shit, but I can help you get. He's like, I'm a boxing coach. I'm a 2-time Olympian. I'm going to get you. I can teach you how to throw them hands. And he said, in the things that I don't know, I'm just going to get you access to that. So I came in, got with a Gracie Academy out here in Tampa, and I bounced and trained with all of them before I opened my own gym. Then I went to Brandon Wrestling, who's in Russ Kozar, is in the Guinness World Records for the longest winning streak in athletic history. So I went in, started training with the high school kids. They were whooping my ass, man. And then go home and do homework and shit. I got bills to pay. This some bitch can't even vote. And I'm in there getting beat up by these kids. But I went into their program, and that's how my wrestling improved.
That's your girl right there.
There you go. I see that. It's got me feeling like I still got it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. then I improved my boxing. So we went through Bellator, won 2 fights. I mean, we went through Atlas first, came to Mississippi, won the fights in Mississippi, won 2 fights in Bellator, and then came my first fight on the UFC Fight Pass for Titan. I ended up knocking Brock Weaver out, and then Jihad moved to Atlanta, and so I'm just trying to train where I can, find camps where I can. I didn't have nobody running my camps, and I ended up losing to Desmond Green, and then losing to Manfio. But I went the distance with both of them. You know what I'm saying? But those 2 fights I would definitely like to run back, because shit, man, I ain't even have a coach. He did come down to corner me for the fight, but like, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't like my record on the other side, my name on the other side of somebody's record. Like right now, everything working the way I want it to work. So if one of them boys, a Palomino or a Good John, smoke me right now, man, I just got to give it to them. They whoop me. But those 2 fights, I went home thinking like, man, I should have quit. I should have never, if I couldn't get the camp that I needed to, then I should have let it go. But I had made it so far, man, and I was still young. I was probably like 31, 32. But yeah. Nevertheless, as soon as Jihad came back, so I'm fighting off a loss now. Soon as Jihad came back, we go to Kazakhstan, beat up the Kazakhs, then we go to the DR, beat them up, and those were 2 world titles. And then we say, fuck it, man. We go to bare knuckle boxing, and shit, I won 2 of those. So, man, I'm back on my streak again. But I think that I'd have been a broken fighter if I had attributed those wins to, oh man, they just beat me. I attribute those losses to these motherfuckers caught me when they ain't have a camp. And it still was controversial on who won. So
Well,
I don't
dude,
think anybody can fuck with me in this shit. Humbly speaking.
go ahead, Mike.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Go
Now,
ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like we could do this all fucking night. Do you have a show? What do you do? What do you do when you're not fighting? Are you
Man, I'm gonna show you. This is a shithole in the wall gym that I got here. You see buckets and mop buckets and it's in the bay doors. You see the bay doors and
yeah?
you'll see like extra stuff like all over the gym. So it's like a no frills gym. But believe it or not, man, if I give you footage of like what actually go on when during the gym hours, man, it's killers in here.
And this is your
It's
gym.
killers in here, man. Like the gym isn't recreational, and it's guys that have their own gym
That
that's
come there.
recreational, and they come here for camps. They only
Nice.
come here because, like, I mean, you come in here and somebody cussing or something, fuck it, you're in a fight gym. You come in and somebody get knocked out, you just gonna drag them off the floor, off to the side, and keep training going. Nobody will ever even look over there, and it is miserable every day. Nobody cares if you cry, but I think that diamonds come from a rigorous heating process. So you know what I'm saying. I think to bring the best out of these guys, you got to put them through that fire.
Yeah.
And I mean, it worked for me. You see, Red he had an MMA fight probably 8 years ago. And I do need to look it up. I keep saying 8 years. It's a golden number. I'm sure it's 8 years, but I don't know exactly if it's 8 years. But we know that he lost 2 of his bare knuckle fights. And you see that even with the 3.5 week camp, he looks significantly better. Like, man, he looked like he belonged there.
Nobody cares if you cry.
I think and to be honest, man, like I think Red more popular than me right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think the sky is the limit
I don't know
for
why.
him, man.
I can't understand why. I'm just joking.
I'm happy for him, man.
That's
I'm
awesome.
happy for him because he has made it through some shit that I don't think that I would have made it through any of my homeboys. And the thing that I'm proud the most for him is he understands that he's behind, and he's looking at it like, all right, well, like when I was telling him, I was like, hey man, that dude don't want to fight. Brandon is just talking shit. He don't really want to fight like that. And he from the streets, so you run up on him, you know what I'm saying? He want to fight. But when I told him that, he was like, he just promoting? I said, yeah, he just promoting. He was like, oh, so don't hit him? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, don't hit him. So like you know what I'm saying? Like he wanna learn. Even after the fight, he was messaging me like, what do I do next? And then he wanted to come back. His hands, knuckles on his skin. I mean, his skin on his knuckles still scraped up. He wanted to come back to the gym and train, man. So like, he's excited about it. The gym was excited. I mean, Red in many cases, he the light of the gym.
That's awesome.
He's the testament of the quality. Cause this gym new. It's only been open for like 6 months, 7 months.
And what's shout out? You should shout it out. We put it up, share it, do whatever we got a group, share it in the group.
But the cool thing about this gym is I don't have to promote it.
Yeah.
Because it isn't a recreational gym. People only come here to fight. So the best promotion that I could have gotten was Red going out there and doing his thing. Nice. And Brandon Lambert.
Yeah.
Keeping it
right.
Keeping it boosted up. So like shit, he made my gym more popular because more people you know what I'm saying? Like it draws more attention to Red. So Red, like just watch Red fights in the past. Look at the footwork, look at the head movement, like, and it's only gonna get better. It's only gonna get better, man.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, don't let me hold you.
Well, so I feel like we could do this all night with you, but we're gonna cut it off because we've been on for an hour and 40 minutes. And
Fuck it, let's wing it.
yeah, let's
I'm
wing
just
it.
talking shit.
You guys are awesome. Both you and Red are fucking awesome, both in the ring and outside the ring. Great personalities, and I feel like you guys are gaining a lot of fans. Why don't you go ahead and shout out all your sponsors? I have all their logos up here. As you run through them, I can pop them on the screen for you.
Man, I can't even see them, and I had so many of them. I'd be scared to name one and don't name all of them. You know,
we have them all.
It'll be just my luck that
we have them all. You can see. You'll be able to see them.
Dude, watch this. Ba-bam. I don't know what's that.
Oh, that's dope. That's Jarvis Coleman. That's Ashe. What's the next
All right,
one?
Ashe, Black Lions Gun
That's the
Club.
Black Lions Gun Club, man. Yeah, man. I'm learning. I'm getting pretty nifty with my AR, man. Thanks to those guys.
Oh, nice. We're gun people too. Blackboard Report.
That's James Mann, man. What do you say? Mother Flower. He does.
What do they do? What is Black? Oh, he's got a show. James Mann.
Borgiat. Yeah, that's Brittany, man. Brittany gives me like really bougie, man. Like this cologne. Nice. She has like bags, and right now she's doing this new thing where it's too bougie for me. I ain't that dope. You know what I'm saying? Like she got this thing where you can put your cell phone inside this case that's waterproof and it floats on top of the water.
Oh, nice.
What's this one here?
Where we get our suits done at, Rick? Daryl House. So if you go on my friends list, you look up Daryl House. Where he does like if you see these dope ass outfits that you see me putting on when I go to the shows.
Yeah, you had a hat on. You had that hat
man,
on
that's
when we were
all
talking
Daryl,
to you.
Man.
Had like would it have red in the inside of the brim there?
Yeah,
what is that, velvet?
Yeah, Daryl be hooking me up, man. That's epic. That these guys do, like, I don't know what it is, man. It's like it's not quite deep tissue massage, but it's like some
epic. That's epic.
Yeah, it's like this extremely painful shit, but you feel like you fixed all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? Florida Floats. They have a lot of like cool shit, like this infrared sauna, cook your ass from the inside. They got this tub that you float on top of the water and for like an hour, and you'll like go to sleep. It's supposed to help with healing.
Like salt, like the salt water.
Yeah. I never seen that shit before. I had salt all up my ass and stuff.
Fusion XL.
XL. You know what that is. That's where Mike Perry used to train.
Deprivation.
That's Julian Williams.
Sensory deprivation.
Yeah. Yes, that's what it is. See, you smarter than me.
I had to look it up, and I knew what it was from the Joe Rogan podcast. They talk about it all the time.
I feel like if I had to hit the button to Google it, then we would have ended the interview.
All right.
Hyperion Munitions. That's old Dane Thomas, man. That's how I get all my ammo. And
there you
supplies
go,
me with all my ammunition needs, man.
Man, this
Leo
guy
Code. Y'all know who Leo is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, y'all know who Leo is.
I go to Florida twice a year. I might have to hit. Yeah, we might have to come down, do a little bit of work, and then do a little bit of chilling.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm with all of that.
Shoot some guns.
Yes. Every platform you could think of too, you know. But you got Mobility RX. That's the guys that it's like strength and conditioning, man.
They keep you spry.
Y'all know who the Native Boys is, man.
Native Boys.
Yeah, they're like these guys that
they're down in the Everglades fighting gators and shit.
Yeah, like I don't want to explain it wrong, but they do. Yeah, like hunting, fishing, all kinds of stuff. And, you know, I just did my first hunt, so I've been linking up with him, trying to see if I can get my first hunt in. And this is Dr. Tommy Ree from the physical chiropractor of Tampa Bay. They are actually doing the rehab right now. So you see within like 6 weeks, I was already doing 6 weeks of ACL reconstruction. I'm doing box jumps already. Like, call me Wolverine right now, man.
Motherfucker. Here we go. Rewind.
Yeah. Rewire.
Yeah, total body experience.
Yeah, that's actually one of the guys in my gym. Believe it or not, he has a doctorate degree in physical therapy. So like, that's another reason why I'm like way ahead of the curve. So yeah, man, that's old Chuck. He's a fighter too. Shift MMA. That's my gym.
At your gym.
Yes, sir.
And there we go. Sim's son.
You know who that guy is? Sims' son is Justin Sims. That is the guy that does the videography for Titan FC and the UFC Fight
Oh,
Pass.
okay.
So,
And
guy's
then
kinda
last but
important.
not least, the fighter share. What is that?
Fighter Share, my buddy Anwar. You know, he owns what would you say Anwar's is? It's a talk show about fights. That's what he focuses on is fights.
There
So
we
it's
go.
pretty cool.
You know, all right. Well, hey, listen. I do this thing called the speed round with everybody, and people in the comments were saying, "What? No speed round? What? No speed round?" We've been on for an hour and 44 fucking minutes, but
It sounds like a speed round. Sounds like something that I'm gonna have to be fast. Now I can
What?
talk shit fast, but
No,
if
this
you
is
You don't have
start
to be
asking
fast.
me
You don't have to be
trivia
fast at all.
questions, I'm gonna fuck that up.
It's not
No,
trivia.
you can't. Let's do a speed round with Smash Brown for everybody that's asking.
Oh,
Let's
shit,
do
what
this.
is
Let's
that?
do this. Number one, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
See what I mean? I don't think that fast.
Oh, come on, man.
Heath.
Heath. All right.
Oh,
There we
good.
go.
I like
Would
that.
you rather win a fight by walk-off knockout or submission in an unusual submission, like a twister or a calf slicer?
You call it a flying toenail pull or some shit like
Yeah,
that. Like,
yeah,
what do you
yeah.
mean? Or some crazy
wild shit.
submission?
Just say walk-off knockout.
almost-
It's all-
Yeah, walk off
Omoplata?
knockout is the easiest check you can get.
All
That'll
right,
work
all
for
right,
submissions.
all right. Do you think that U.S. American soldiers should be able to smoke weed?
I don't know, man. I
Say
can't
yes.
speak on shit like
Say
that. You
yes.
know what
Say
I'm
yes.
saying? I mean, be able to smoke weed when they here? Fuck
Sure.
yeah, blaze away.
Yeah, all
I
right.
thought you were
Thank
talking
you.
about.
Thank
I
you.
thought you were talking about over there where you need to be like sober
Nah.
as shit
I don't think-
doing an
No.
operation.
The reason why I'm asking that question is because we're both in the army, and
Yeah.
they're legalizing weed all over the country.
Yeah,
and
but they forgot about us.
Yeah, no matter how legalized weed is for the civilians of the world, soldiers still can't touch it, even though it's like
blaze
9,000
away, you
times
know what I'm
safer
saying?
than it's
we
9
can-
million times safer than booze, but we can keep drinking and fucking getting all fucked up in the
Yeah.
army. Can't smoke
Yeah,
no
we
weed.
drink all the time. Yeah, just keep drinking up, keep driving.
Just can't smoke, man.
Can't smoke.
Nah,
No, don't do that.
I'm
Don't
cool
do
with
that.
that.
Don't do that.
Favorite genre of music, and what is your favorite artist of that genre?
Man, I'm starting to get out of rap now, man, because it seems like all these motherfuckers sound alike and all this mumble rap shit. And I get it. I ain't knocking these dudes, but I ain't from that generation. You remember when you was young, you played your rap music, your daddy like, what is that bullshit that you playing?
Yeah.
I'm becoming that guy.
I
You know,
promise
so-
it's different.
Yeah, I'm
promise
getting
it's
old.
different.
It is, yeah.
But I
It's
got
not-
respect for these guys, so I'm starting to move more into the blues thing, and I'm from Mississippi, the home of the blues. It's about time for me to come back home, you know.
Nice,
So-
very nice. Do you have a favorite artist, or you just getting into the blues so you're not?
Kingfish.
There
That
you
was,
go.
Kingfish.
That's why we have a
He's
speed
from
round.
Mississippi.
I'll have to look it up.
That's why we have the speed round. We need to learn these things. And if you want to listen to some good new rap, I just heard 80 Bars by Redman the other day. It came out like 2 weeks ago. You know Redman?
Redman been around though.
Yeah, I
He's
know.
the
That's what I'm saying. We come from the same era. I'm talking like
Yeah.
we're Wu-Tang era. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Redman been around.
Redman dropped a song called 80 Bars like 2-3 weeks ago, and it's like the best thing I've heard in a long time. All right, number 5. Have you ever sat down and binge watched an entire season of a show in one day?
Fuck yeah! Like now, if I go down the rabbit hole with that shit, I mean, right now I'm watching Expanse. The show Them was fire. I can go forever, man. Now that's one thing Smash Brown do when he ain't got shit else to do is watch some TV shows.
You know, have you seen Handmaid's Tale?
No, so that's what I need to go look up next.
I'm gonna tell you what, like from the surface, you might look at it and go, oh, what the hell is this? I don't know if I'm gonna watch this, but I'm gonna tell you right now, like this show is fucking crazy. It's like this religious group takes over America and people trying to escape to Canada, and they bring everything back like to the old times and stuff. And the way, it's crazy. Like women can't read. Like they got women like. So there's like commanders, they wear black, their wives wear green, and they're like infertile, they can't have babies. So it kind of goes with the story when you see, and the handmaids basically have to have the babies for the families, and then they have Marthas who just wear blue and they clean and they cook. It's the weirdest thing ever. They got people out on the curb, like outside called the Eye, that just stand there with like M16s and just watch everything everybody's doing. There's no
Shit
words on
sound
anything. It's
like,
wild.
Like George Orwell's 1984 book.
Yeah, like it's really crazy like that, and it's like it's a
That
lot
was
of
some
drama.
smart shit
It's
you
not
just
a.
said. Joe Ivy's gonna be excited.
You'll like it. You'll like it. I'm telling you, it's really good. It's on Hulu. It's awesome.
I'm finna check. It says on Hulu. I'm gonna check
It's
that shit out.
It's crazy.
Favorite current MMA fighter?
Who is my favorite current MMA fighter right now, man? I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like the talent level, ever since Corona hit, I feel like the talent level going down, man. Who's my favorite fighter? I was gonna say Jeff Neal, but
He's fighting this weekend, right?
yeah, he fucking around and lost to Wonder Boy when I thought I listen, man.
It's Neil versus Neil this weekend.
Yeah, I and then I was biased with Mike Perry because I trained with him. Then,
Oh, really?
Yeah, when he was at Fusion at the time, so you know.
Mike Perry versus Jake Paul. That's it.
Hey, real quick, is Mike Perry going to bare knuckle?
I ain't at liberty to say.
Okay, blink twice if that's gonna happen.
Laugh, show your teeth and laugh. You know, look at I see. Look at that.
I mean, you know, I ain't in it, but
wear headphones if he's coming to.
I mean, I'll tag him in the comment section and y'all can ask him.
There you go. What's the worst food you've ever tried?
Man, when I was in elementary, this kid brought like fried deer poop. I forgot what he called it, man.
Like deer shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
You know, everybody bring, you know what I'm saying? Everybody bring like dishes in their family. And he brought what looked like deer shit. And I was scared to, you know what I'm saying, try it. I was like, fuck that. You know. You said the worst food you ever tried, so nah, that don't count, huh? Because I ain't tried that shit. You never
tried it, yeah.
Nah, I went when I was a kid, the first time I went on a boat cruise and I tried oysters. Ugh. Man, that shit slipped down my throat so fast. It was the texture, and then, you know, when you in the 6th grade, that shit, I wasn't ready. Somebody gotta warn me of that. Yeah. That shit.
I'm an adult now, and I'll eat oysters now, but I couldn't even
eat the oysters. I couldn't eat that shit when I was 10.
All right. Here's a tough one. Someone hands you a briefcase and says there's a 50-50 shot that there's $50 million inside that briefcase, or a bomb that explodes when you open it and you die. Are you gonna open the briefcase?
Fuck that. You know, if the Great Wall of China was a Great Wall of Africa, we'd have never found out what's on the other side of that motherfucker. We don't take no risk like that now. You know, like, you mean to tell me if $50 million over or there's a 50-50 chance there's a bomb in that bitch? Hell no. Hell no.
All right, number 9. Like,
I try to make back. I mean, shit. Dave was paying people $20 million. I got a better chance of that shit. You know?
Here you go. Last 2 questions. What would you do if you were invisible for a day?
Ooh, man, y'all don't need to answer that question. Next question.
Next question. And what is
let your mind let your mind set you free?
What is something you think everyone should try at least once?
What should everybody try? Sex.
There you
go. Man, can you imagine?
Try it out.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, just try it one time.
Just try it out.
Greatest thing on the green earth.
There you go.
God damn, I don't know anything that's better.
My guy. So that was a 7-minute speed round. You did great. That was fucking beautiful, man. That was beautiful. You're a great guest. Thank you for coming on and sharing your thoughts on the whole Boutwell Auditorium fiasco, your future in the BKFC and everything in between, man. You were a great guest. Any shout outs you want to do before we leave? You already did your
you did the sponsors, so
yeah, so
you know what I'm saying. I mean, the only thing else I can shout out is my guys, man. My guys who helped me get where I'm at. So other than that, good to go. Oh, you know what? Shout out to Paul Dominich. I think it's his phone just died.
Oh, well, shit.
Hey, shout out to Dominance guys, listen up. Shout out to Dominance. And hey, phone just died. But
Phone
that's
just
all right.
died.
You know what? Because we went a long time and you get everything. At least we got all the sponsors in before that happened. So we went a little bit longer, you know.
I threw in that
People have
speed
to see
run
this
at
on the
end, man.
rewind.
Great show, great guest, great job, guys. Thank you, Joe
Thank
Ivy. We went.
I was not
almost-
scared, Joe Ivy. I don't know what I'd be scared of. I'm reading. You know what I'm doing over here? I don't know if she knows. I'm like reading, I'm sharing, I'm doing all sorts of stuff. I got to do a lot of stuff over here. My brain is
Right.
going nuts.
Right. So why don't we call it a night? We went almost 2 hours tonight, dude. We spent almost 45 minutes with Robert Washington. Then we spent about an hour with Martin Brown. What a couple of fucking awesome people, man. Honestly, I am extremely neutral on the entire thing between Malo and Washington.
Yeah.
I can't even say a bad thing about the whole situation. I hope nobody has any charges pressed against them. I hope nobody gets in trouble for any of that shit. I hope all it does is line their pockets with more money in the future with fights, because they all make sense. There's a bunch of fights you can make off of that. What do you think about that? And let's close this out, Mike.
Well, you know, I played devil's advocate earlier. I said what I think. I don't think that either side is entirely at fault, because I could put myself in either person's shoes. And I don't think that any person in general was trying to start like this situation. I think that Brandon was trying to come up and he's just trying to progress his career. He's doing his thing. That's what he does. We know what he does, and he's doing it well. Doing it well. So I think he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, and that's how that's what he does. And I know all the GOAT Combat guys that are around there, as Scott Farley said earlier, they were all there to take a picture. That's what he said. And I know from being there that everyone was just being cordial, talking. The fights were over there, having a good time. So like all that stuff happens in an instant, and that's the problem. Everyone reacts in a different way. You never know what's going to happen. So when something goes down, you cannot put yourself in that person's shoes entirely. So you don't know what Robert Washington was thinking or how he felt. I know a lot of people said, oh, scared. I don't know if I said scared or if somebody mentioned scared. I don't think he was scared. I just think it's like cornered. When you feel cornered, you feel like you have to defend yourself, and maybe that's at the point he felt like he had to defend himself. He sees everybody around. I'm not making excuses. I don't condone any crazy stuff going down, but I also don't go against when people think that they have to defend themselves, because I don't know what he's thinking and I don't know how he felt, and everybody else can have their own opinion.
Right. But
I don't think anybody was totally at fault. It just is what it is, and it might have set up a good fight. So, hey, good thing.
I think it's something that they could build off of. With that said, I want to thank everybody that stuck together. We're running out of people here watching right now because we're going on 2 hours.
Yep.
Tomorrow night, for anybody that's going to
running out of you, I think you're running out of energy here. You better get the hell off of here.
Yeah. So tomorrow night, 9 p.m. we got Jared Kid Gotti Grant.
Yep.
And you got Mike and Mish.
That's right.
So with that said, I say we call it a night, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right.
What do you say, Mike?
I say let's get the hell out of here.
Peace to your bum crease.